Hey everybody, Paisley Imperfect, back with another Make a Plan Monday. We are more than halfway through the year and we are at Doctrine and Covenants sections 81 through 83, where much is given, much is required. So let's take a look at what we've got this week. We have got, three sections of the Doctrine and Covenants, right? 81, 82, and 83, which is not a lot. It's about 10 minutes, if that. So let's keep looking and see what else we've got. There's a couple of revelations in context right here. There's the Newell K. Whitney and the United Firm, which I did not include because we've looked at that already. And it's been an option a couple of different times. And then there's Jesse Gauss, Counselor to the Prophet. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not. That's just a guess. But that one I did add because we have not looked at that one yet. And as we keep going, there's some questions here that are worth paying attention to and looking at for yourself. What are some ways a person can be weak, and what does it mean to succor them? What might cause a person's hands to figuratively hang down, and how can I lift them up? And what might feeble knees mean? How are they strengthened? And then how does the Savior do those things for us? As we keep going, there's a video right here, Teachings of Thomas S. Monson, Rescuing Those in Need. It's just over 5 minutes. And then there's a second video here as well called Works of God, about 4.5. Some artwork. There's a hymn if you want to go listen to Because I Have Been Given Much, or if you want to look at the words for that hymn again. It's a good one. Then there's another video right here, just over 5.5 minutes. Blessed and happy are those who keep the commandments of God. All three of these videos are on the list, by the way. Then as we keep going, there's a talk here from Elder Christofferson, Our Relationship with God. And then if you want to, there's commandments in the topics and questions section of the Gospel Library. I did not, as usual, I don't usually include those on the list. I did not this time either. Okay, and then as we keep going, this right here is a talk from a BYU women's conference. And when you click on the link, you come here to this page. It's not available for listening to. You would have the blue headphone icon down here. It's not available to listen to here, but it says right here, cbyutv.org for a recording of the original discourse. But when you click on that, you get this. Item currently unavailable for on-demand access. Check the schedule for the next available date and time. So I don't know if they're going to make this available for on-demand access throughout the week because it's referenced in the Come Follow Me or not. It doesn't say anything here. This Sister Pierce is a daughter of President Hinckley. I'm sure it's good. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because I don't know how long it's going to take for you to read it. I did ask the AI, and it said if you're a fast reader, it could take 5 minutes. If you're a slow reader, it could take 11 minutes. If you're an average reader, 7 or 8. So I put 8 on the checklist, and I left it on a day by itself. This whole first section right here is about Sister Pierce. So if you wanted to skip that, you could and just go straight into her talk. But if you want to learn more about her, read this section right here in the box. When I asked the AI how long it would take to read, I just included the entire page. So, and I left it right in the middle at about 8 pages, just so you know with all of that. All right, let's get back to here. That's this talk right here, Prayer, a Small and Simple Thing. All right, as we keep going, there are, in this people, places, we'll come back. We'll come back to the people, places, and events, and I'll show you when we get there. Okay, so now we are down into ideas for teaching children, secret prayer, if you want to sing a song with them. There's a couple of verses. This video right here, Pass It On, we just looked at, we looked at this back in April. So I didn't include it on the list, but it's only 2 minutes. So if you wanted to watch it again, you could. And then there's another video right here, 6 minutes, 9 seconds, serving in the Savior's way. That one is included on the checklist. Some more artwork, some scriptures in the Old Testament and the New Testament, and then Doctrine and Covenants, kind of pull it all together. And then there's the activity page, if you want to use that. Okay, back up here to people, places, and events. And when we click to see more, there's the Revelations in Context, which I've already included. And then there's chapter 14, Visions and Nightmares from Saints. I didn't include that because we've looked at that already, and it's been an option a couple of different times. I did, however, click on these two things right here. They look like this. Sorry, no, this is the Revelations in Context. Where is that other one? Let's just click on it again. This is a historical resource. So you can pull it up over here. It's super short. And if you wanted to read more about Jesse Gauss, you could read a little bit more here. Again, super short, not very long. I didn't put it on the checklist. It's probably like 30 seconds. Just take a look at it when you get there, when you get down to this part of your book. And then they have the same thing for Frederick G. Williams. And just kind of a quick recap, something that we learned with our kids tonight. Jesse Gauss was called to be a counselor to Joseph Smith before the first presidency was officially organized, the way that we know it today. But he didn't stick around. So Frederick Williams actually replaced him. And Frederick Williams had some issues too, but he did come back to the church before he died. But Section 81 was originally given for Jesse Gauss, but is applicable also to Frederick Williams. The promises and blessings that were given because of his calling are applicable to Frederick Williams because he ended up fulfilling the calling. It's kind of like when you get called to something like bishop, right? There are special blessings that come with being called to be a bishop that are only applicable to the bishop, but the bishop gets replaced and then those blessings move on to the next person. Some of them are more personal, especially in a church this size. Some of them are more personal, but there are things that are applicable to the calling itself that come with like being set apart in that calling. I'll give you an example. It might be kind of a cheesy example. I was called to be primary president a long time ago. And I remember when I was first called, I started noticing like we would be driving down the road and stopped at a stoplight, and I would look in the car next to me and there would be a little kid there just like staring at me, and they would smile and wave. This has never happened to me before. I think I've talked about it before. I have resting grump face. And so usually when kids look at me, they like get scared, but it was just this weird thing that these kids would just like look at me from their car seat or look at me through the window, and they would smile and wave at me. And I wasn't like smiling at them in any way special. I didn't wave at them first. It was just this weird thing. And then when I was released, I didn't necessarily notice that stopped or anything like that, but I do remember when I was released that I felt it. Like I felt I felt different about the kids in my ward. I still loved them, but I felt different towards them, I think. Not about them. I didn't really feel different about them. I still loved them, but I felt different towards them. The mantle had been moved, for lack of a better phrase. I can't think of another way to describe it right now. But that's kind of what I'm getting from this. Like, some of the blessings are personal. Some of them come with the calling. Anyway, so take that for what you will. Primary president versus counselor in a pre-first presidency. So take that for what you will. It's just my way of making it applicable to myself. Okay, that's it. It looks like it's about 9, almost 10 minutes on average per day. And our list looks like this. So on Monday, Doctrine and Covenants section 81, and then we're looking at the Revelations in context for Jesse Gauss. Total 8 minutes, 51 seconds. Tuesday, sections 82 and 83, 7.5 minutes. Wednesday, the 2 videos, Teachings of President Monson and the Works of God, 9.5 minutes. Thursday, these 2 videos, almost 12 minutes. Remember, it's an average of 10 minutes. This one's almost 12 minutes. And then Friday is actually the longest day with the talk from Elder Christofferson with 13 minutes and 17 seconds. So even 13 minutes is still less than 15 minutes. We can totally do that. And then last but not least, again, guesstimate 8 minutes based on the analysis that the AI did, 8 minutes for Saturday to go through the talk by Sister Pierce. So pretty simple, pretty easy, and totally doable for all of us. Thank you so much, you guys, for sticking around, for hanging out with me. I hope that these checklists are helpful. I hope that somebody's using them besides me. But I mean, if not, I started this for myself more than anything else. So even if I'm the only one using them, it's still super helpful. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. And until next time, have a good one.